Well, we're getting a lot of no comments this morning. It was a good show. I don't know if you guys are here, but there was a cross-examination of airport executive manager John Canata this morning, performed by prosecuting journalist Sabrina Salas Antonani. That was funny, though. It's like, no comment, no comment, no comment, no comment. Oh, hey, it's the link, 9:52. Let's head back into the Zoom room. We're pretty comfortable in here. Where we have Mark Scott, the Guam Guard. Guam Guard, of course, leading Operation Liberate Guahan with the vaccination effort. Right, Mark?
No comment, Chris. Just kidding.
Here we go.
Good morning, Chris, Bree. How you doing, Jay and Joseph? Yeah,
all right.
We're in our third week of our vaccination clinic in support of public health down at the field house. That's correct.
So, Mark, just to clarify, is this a guard operation or is it a public health operation?
So, as you might know, Chris, when the guard is activated, it's in support of civil authorities, right? Ever since this whole thing started, whatever job we might be doing, for example, at the QFAC, we're in support of public health. If we're out helping traffic flow at Rev and Tax like we did before, we're in support of Rev and Tax. It's the nature of our job to support civil authorities when we're activated here on the homeland. So to answer your question, we're operating the clinic in support of public health's umbrella.
Yeah, because I got some complaints yesterday about just the long wait at the UOG Fieldhouse. Are you guys aware of any complaints about, Mark, I got this one where this friend of mine had said that they were escorting him to go get the second shot and that they actually waited so long that they used the bathroom on themselves.
Yeah, 2 days ago when we started this week on Tuesday, there was a miscue, right, from those who got their call from public health that today's their day for their dose 2 to come in at 1 o'clock. Now, the script from public health says from 1 to 7, but whatever the case may be, Chris, we're moving forward from that and we're improving. Now, instead of having that bottleneck at 1 o'clock when we open, we're trying to work to spread out the walk-ins so they don't all come at the same time.
So public health calls individuals that are due for their dose 2, but aren't people supposed to still register online for dose 2? Because that's what you guys are doing. The priority is for dose 2.
That's exactly the message that we're putting out for you. So you'll see the call center will be stood up shortly here, the Guam Guard, and in conjunction with the UOG Global Learning and Engagement Office, we're going to start our own call center. We'll be notifying folks that are due for their dose 2 and giving them the information such as preferably register on Eventbrite, book your appointment. If the appointments are all booked like they are for this week, you can still walk in if that's your day for dose 2. You'll just be in competition with a few more of the walk-ins. And key to that is to not all just show up at the same time at 1 o'clock. So the messaging is shifting from public health to the Guam National Guard call center in conjunction with UOG. Thanks to all the AmeriCorps volunteers for their help and the GLE office at University of Guam. But yeah, that was the breakdown of communication 2 days ago when we saw some delay in the beginning. And like I said, the past couple of days on your competitors' radio stations, we want to apologize for that first day. It did take us a few hours to stabilize with the 300 people that were there at the opening gate, and there were some delays. So we're sorry for that inconvenience, and we're going to work to make it better. Yesterday was smooth. We did 1,352 people yesterday with no turndowns. No one got turned away for their dose 2. So I think we're back on track, you guys. Sorry for the initial delays, but thank you for your patience, understanding, and thanks to our partners as well, including public health.
Mark, so you said 300 people were waiting? And how long were they waiting on Monday?
Yeah. From what I heard, there was people who waited hours, Bree. It was 2-3 hours. I even heard one that said they waited up to 4 hours. And that was the second and third order effects of having 300 people all show up at once. So moving forward, regardless of what, people said they were told to show up at 1 at this point, there's no blame game. It's moving forward, right?
Yeah.
No one needs to do the blame game thing. We need to just improve how things get done. And I think we've done that. Yesterday was pretty smooth. And our message to all the walk-ins is, if you didn't have a chance to register on Eventbrite, come and visit us in the mid-afternoon or late afternoon. We're open until 7. We're trying to avoid the longest lines of the day, which is our opening at 1 o'clock.
These 300 that came in, they were not, they didn't have appointments. They were walk-ins.
There was a little bit of a mix, but majority were walk-ins. That's right, Bree. That's on top of the 135 bookings that we already had for that hour anyway. So it was a bit of a delay 2 days ago, Tuesday morning.
But that's in the past.
Right.
It's in the past. We're moving forward. We're making it better because that's what people deserve, Chris.
Amen, Mark. I agree. So did you chew public health out for that or what?
No, we're all still friends. It's one team, one fight. We have a lot of things to fix up and improve on our own side as well. So God forbid we pass judgment. We all got to work together and make it better.
Hooah.
All right. So no more public health calling people. It's going to be National Guard with AmeriCorps volunteers. So if you get a call from public health, no,
disregard.
Don't.
Yeah.
It's not that they did anything wrong, but look at the logistics and operations. We're there, and changes happen. What is it, Chris? Rapidly
evolving
situation. So what a better place to have a call center that's adjacent to the clinic itself, where they can react to changes in messaging, any changes in the operation. They're right there to receive those changes quickly. And, through no fault of public health, right? We're just looking to improve overall.
Right on. Any of the Guard, are you done?
No, I just wanted to ask, so is the Guard going to be taking over the vaccination clinics? Because, I don't think public health, they're out there doing the homebound vaccinations. They haven't had anything at Ukadu. Is that the plan, where the National Guard will take over from here?
No taking over. We're always going to be in support of. And I think that's important to say again.
Right. So then is the National Guard going to be supporting public health in conducting the vaccination clinics going forward?
Yes. So what we're doing now is we've consolidated the public clinic at University of Guam to free public health up to do the home visits, the homebound, the remote satellite clinics at the mayor's offices and things like that. So hopefully we can support them by freeing them up to do so, and all the other things that they have to do, which is a lot.
Right. Okay, so no more Ukadu.
Well,
unless that changes, Bree.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's rapidly evolving, Mark.
It's a rapidly evolving situation.
It could change at any second. What about Guard members deployed to the nation's capital, Mark? Have we had any more come back, and were they did they test negative, or is there anything going on with that?
Yeah.
Sure. So there is an update from the first group that came back from the original mission to DC. We all know that there were the 2 that tested positive, right? And the contact tracing was complete, and there is no other positives from the Guard that was spread. All the remaining team members, aside from the 2, were tested, and they were all negative. So good news on that front.
Is there any follow-up testing? Because we've seen that people can test negative and still have the virus, or were they tested within the proper window?
Yeah, so they got the negative PCR within 72 hours of the original flight, right? Yeah. And as soon as they came back and we started seeing those 2 positives, they had to wait that incubation period, right? The incubation period may take a few days. So we waited after that while they were on restriction of movement and tested them after that, and they were all negative on the second time.
Were the 2 that tested positive, were they found to be have violated their restriction of movement?
No, they were not. They were given a briefing what they signed. It's a court-ordered restriction of movement, and they were briefed on their criminal liability for breaking it. So, no.
So what changes, I guess, because I think when we talked to you, said something about we might have to look at the playbook, or I forget the exact words that you used.
Yeah, so with the group that's out there now, Bree, they've all received their dose 1 immunization, right? And then when they come back, mission complete, whenever that might be, we're looking at, of course, the negative PCR within 72 hours of the return home, and then movement directly into government quarantine facility.
Okay. So there will not be any exemptions. Because they got the critical worker exemption, the first batch, right?
That's what we're looking at to help mitigate the risk of having that possible positive come through, even though there was a negative test prior to the flight, correct?
Okay. All right. Is that through public health? A public health's decision to remove the guard from the critical workers or essential workers, whatever that designation is, Chris.
Critical service workers.
Exemption, or is that a decision on the part of the guard? That's
No.
what we're gonna do from now on.
No, that's right, Bree. That's what we're looking at, to take additional, mitigation measures to further reduce the risk, to keep our people safe, to add that extra layer of government quarantine on our own accord.
Okay.
That's what we're looking at.
Mark,
It's,
so
second batch.
if the two guard members who eventually tested positive came in with a negative PCR, through the contact tracing, were you guys able to deduce where they picked up the virus, where they were exposed?
I haven't seen the results of the contact tracing, Chris. No, I don't have that answer for you, and I'm not sure I can get it if that's public, private health information or protective health information. I'm not sure that's releasable, but I can ask Chris and let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I asked about that critical service worker exemption because Public Health Director Artson Augustine, in the oversight hearing earlier this week, said that they are looking at changing the critical worker exemptions. So I wasn't sure if he had already made the announcement about the changes. So I guess.
Yeah, and we're learning as we go. Like what we learned when they all had their negative PCR and came back and were still positive. I think I was on when that happened, and we said that even though we went by the book, it looks like the book could use some improvements or looking at, right, to further keep our people safe. So should that come down to it, then we're on board for whatever it is that helps keep us all safer, for sure.
All right.
No further questions.
Are there any investigations?
Yeah. Are you guys gambling over there or what?
Put the chips away, sir. No
Yeah.
comment.
Yes. Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome, guys.
All
Thanks
right.
again
Oh,
for-
wait, I had a call. So what's the schedule for the Vax clinic at UOG, if you didn't already give it, for next week?
Oh, next week.
Say that again.
What's the
Say that
vaccination?
one more time.
For the UOG vaccination clinic, what's the schedule for next week? Do you have it already?
Yeah. You're going to be able to book your appointment for next week when we post the links on Saturday. Right now, the link is for the current week, which is sold out, but you'll be able to register when it posts again for the following week this Saturday.
Do you
I
know
don't
what?
foresee the hours changing at all, which is currently 1 o'clock to 7 p.m. But then again, Chris, it's a rapidly evolving
sure is,
situation, and if they make any adjustments to that schedule, we'll be sure to let everybody know.
Do you know what day of the week it would be, Mark?
Sorry, Chris.
Do you know what day of the week it would be?
What day of the week the links would post to start
No.
registering?
What day of the week the vaccination
the
clinic
clinic.
will be held next week?
Yeah. Right now it's Tuesday through Saturday. So for next week, when will it be open?
That's right.
Same?
Tuesday to Saturday.
Okay,
That's right.
right on.
Real quickly, Mark, you talked about that group that's coming in that will be in the government quarantine. When are they coming in? How many are coming, and where are they coming from? From the capital?
Yeah, I would love to tell you all of that specific information about their flight number, packs, and date of arrival, but you're going to have to come join the Guam National Guard and get a security clearance. So please contact our recruiters. Feel free to enlist for commission, and I'll share all of that stuff with you. But generally speaking, no, we don't like to tell too much information about our specific troop movements, times, and numbers.
You told us that they were going out to the inauguration.
Yes, I did.
You guys done?
Yeah,
Thanks,
we're
Mark.
done.
Thanks, Mark.
welcome,
Mark.
guys.
Oh,
That's
don't
not-
forget the name. All right, later on.
Don't forget the what?
The name. We're gonna show some love. Remember?
Yeah. Check your WhatsApp. There you go. All right. That's Mark Scott of the Garden. Take a break or come back and we're going to come back and wrap up the show next.